All right. So let's start with the first thing, right? Which is the outreach, right? Let me be real, man. You're not going to be able to sit in a room. No one's not going to reach out to you saying, I want to give you a job. Most of the time, you're going to have to engage with the entrepreneur in order to get the job. And let me be super blunt with you. If there's a job opening, you're competing with a lot of other people because there's usually 100 guys for every role. So in terms of an outreach strategy, your goal is to stand out. The outreach is like an experience, man. Like how you do it, like how often you do it. Like an example is if you're a male that's, you know, B2B space and you're reaching out to a fitness woman's coach, right? Like, and trying to get a job, like the vibe don't match, man. Like, do you embody that offer, right? Like, can you enroll in that offer? So like making sure you reach out to the right people is also super important because some guys just spray and pray, bro. And you can smell that when they reach, like, this is off. Like, why are you reaching out to me? Like, you're not good for this role. So let me give you guys some really straight to the point, like strategies with outreach. The first thing that you should be doing is engaging with their content. You need to show that I actually love your content. Like, I love your content, commenting on it, engaging with this, because that gets their attention. And so when you slide into the DMs, they're going to see you and they're going to say, oh, let's see what he's talking about because, you know, he likes my stuff, right? So that gives you a higher likelihood of actually getting a response if you engage first. And if they don't respond back to you right away, maybe they're busy. If I check my messages, I have probably like 5 to 12 messages on every platform, right? At all time. But I'm busy, man. Like I don't have time sometimes to go through. I want to, but I just, you know, you only have X amount of hours in a day and you have to prioritize as an entrepreneur. So if they don't reply right away, don't get discouraged, treat it like a sales and follow up. Maybe the next day or the day after that, right? Keep following up until they literally say, stop contacting me. Literally.
Until they say, hey, no, thank you. I'm good.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And then like, here's another, some really cool brownie points, man. Is the get creative in your outreach. So audio messages work really, really well. Video messages work even better, especially on Instagram, right? So they're way more likely to click that, which means you got to have your aesthetics right. Do you look like a sales guy or do you look like a bum, right? Hate to say it that way, but like, there's a reason why attractiveness works well in sales. So that's some outreach tips, okay, guys? Like using video, always following up, making sure that the people you're reaching out to is in alignment, that you actually want to work with them, engage with their content, and like that's how you outreach properly, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
I'll do one tip on top of that with the video, because I actually just recorded a new video on YouTube just about Instagram DMs. And one thing you should not do is only send a video or only a voice. Also do a text with it as well, because I hate watching, like getting like a long video and then be like, oh, what is this going to be? It's like a surprise when you open it. So send either a long paragraph text or even a short paragraph text that says what the video is going to be about.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a natural segue to like, I guess the resume, right? So like, here's the game. So you outreach an entrepreneur or business owner. First thing they're going to say is send me a video or send me your resume. And you need to nail this video. So one of the most common mistakes I see, people read from scripts. Are you going to be reading a script trying to collect 10K? No, you're not going to be. You're going to follow a framework, but the energy, like you're not going to sound robotic. So like send the video, be as authentic as possible. Right? And so here's some key things you want to highlight in your 60-second video. First thing is high-level KPIs. So like impressive numbers. So like how many dollars have you generated? Because that's the first thing I want to know if I'm hiring. I just hired 3 sales guys. First thing I want to know, okay, what's your numbers? And then first, like, how's your energy, right? Like, do you come off as confident? Do you come off as a person I'll have coffee with or beer? You pass the beer test. If you don't pass the beer test, like I wouldn't go have a beer with you, then I probably won't hire you. Like, right? Because that means you're probably not that likable. Okay, so coming off authentic is super important. Don't read scripts, hit highlights, and your sales philosophy, right? So are you a more consultative seller? Do you believe in 2-call closes, 3-call closes? Do you love, Facebook ads, opt-ins, fill calendars? Do you believe in like communities? Do you like doing live events? Do you like doing, triage calls? Like, what's your philosophy? Because if it aligns with them, it's going to make you stick out in front of everyone else. Like, don't be the person during this process to make your resume general. Like, actually form your 60-second video around what you want, right? Yeah. Because like alignment's everything. Don't be a generalist is where I'm getting at.
Your specific type of sales, because I'm asking people that all the time. Like they say, hey, I've had sales experience. I go, what specific sales experience? And so maybe you should refer to, I've been doing sales for this type of product and they're all one sale closes. And so if you're looking for, the typical high ticket remote sales job, one sales close, make that clear that you're used to the one sale close.
Exactly. And I'll give you guys an extra brownie point, which is like your motivation, like hunger. So how hungry are you? Like, yo, I'm looking to do X, Y, Z, and I'm ready to crush it. Give that energy that you want to be a team player, that you are ready to run. But then they suck on like the motivation, like they're arrogant, or it's like, bro, once again, there's 100 sales guys for every role, maybe more, right? So like, sure, you check these boxes, but if you're going to be an energy drain on the team, then you're not going to get the job. You're going to come off as arrogant or, selfish or just really about me. It doesn't matter how good you are. There's always going to be someone just as good or better also applying. That's a reality, right? That I really want to share. So if you come with, $50 million in sales experience in corporate, leave that ego at the door and be hungry, play team, humility, and give that energy. And then you're more likely to get the role.
Right. So even if you do have tons of sales experience, don't make it come off like, yeah, I did this. You should also frame it with like, that said, I'm a team player. I'm a fast learner. Even if this is a new product or a new industry for me, just give me the product information and I'll know it like the back of my hand next day. Like, I got huge goals beyond what I've already done.
Boom. That's perfect, man. Script that. Boom. Right? Script that. Yeah. So that's a natural transition. So, okay. So you did the outreach, you sent the 60-second video, you crushed it. Now they're like, okay, let's jump on a call. Let me introduce you to my hiring manager, or, whoever's taking over the hiring process. So the interview, guys. So with the interview, man, let me give you guys some quick tips, man. The first one is energy. I think that this is super, super important. Is like that first 60 seconds of the call, like, how do you show up, right? Do you show up, with good energy? How hungry are you? Like, your willingness to engage. So like, here's a golden rule, man. You should have as much questions to ask the interviewee or the interviewer as the interviewee. I know the best guys, they do two things on the interview. They ask me very good questions, not just like random ass questions, because you can tell when someone is like questions around like not questioning them, but getting clear on their sales process, getting clear on their KPIs, seeing if their numbers are real, right? Because it also challenges them, right? They're like, okay, this guy knows his stuff. And then last but not least on that is, are you building rapport with this person, right? Like it's like a rapport thing. So like showing that you're listening. Okay, so here's the key, man. So yes, you're gonna show that you're listening. And then every interview, they're gonna ask you about scenarios. They're gonna ask you, how would you handle these scenarios? And let me be super blunt. Maybe I'm giving away too much game here, but I think it's important that you understand this. If you explain a situation, you will not get the job. You should be dropping into role play mode like that. So let me give you an example. Ask me a question about a scenario, Riley.
All right, yeah.
Literally.
What about a scenario where the customer says, you know what, they're just shopping around, so they got to get back to you.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I love that. It's pretty interesting, man. I love the fact that you're doing all these different things and you're really committed to finding a solution to get XYZ results for your business. Okay, but just, hey, real quick while we're on the phone, because we just got so deep in the process. I know that you guys are doing 1, 2, 3, and you're trying to get to ABC, and I think that you can absolutely get there. Like, tell me, like, what's the most important to you in order to get there? Like, what do you think is most important to you in terms of a partnership? Is it getting this type of service, that kind of service? Like, what do you believe is the natural next step for you to get the next move? Boom. So that's an example, right?
Yeah.
You just drop into role play and answer the question. You get into theory mode, you're not going to get the job.
Yeah.
Because
so do what you just did. Maybe
do
what you just did. Like, ask them, okay, go ahead and ask me a question scenario and I'll do it live. Like,
yeah, you could, but dude, honestly, the most of the time you're going to be talking to a shark. Hiring is like a big deal, man. It's hard. And so
yeah, it's a big job. Yeah.
They're going to control the conversation, to be blunt. So you can say that, but they have their own processes, bro.
If they give you a scenario, just be like, all right, I would say something like this, and then do kind of what you just said.
Yeah, I would say, hey, do you guys do any, check for scenarios during the interview process? Because I would love to, show you my capabilities. Like, I think framing it as a question shows also that you understand the game. Because once again, you're talking to like type A. Most of these, they have their own processes, right? And when I'm in interview mode, I'm like trying to analyze who the heck are you, bro? Like, I'm trying to destruct how you think, right? And they're not too like chill. They're not chill. I hate this. I want to come off as like, I don't want to put anyone off, but I'm just being real, man. Like, especially if someone's doing 7, 8, 9 figures, bro, like they're usually no nonsense when they hire people. And during the hiring process, at least.
And then another thing, you mentioned building rapport. Another thing maybe to include in the 60-second video and is maybe just like, just something about you personally. Like, outside of sales, I also love a couple hobbies or something like that. I feel like even when I'm talking to my clients with Amazon, what I do for the icebreakers is I ask them, so what do you like to do on the weekends? What hobbies are you into? Boom, instantly you can just start chit-chatting.
Yeah, bro. And it makes you more interesting as a person too, because it's like, oh, you're just not a guy sitting in the house watching YouTube or all day, right? Like, or Mr. Beast stuff, right? Which is cool. Mr. Beast is the man. I love Mr. Beast. But you're just coming off as an interesting person that someone will want to have a beer with, right? Once you get the beer test.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I think we hit pretty much the 3 big points, right? We talked about outreach. We talked about, the resume, which is really the 60-second video. And then obviously during the interview process, the most important key takeaway is dropping into role play and also controlling your energy and asking great questions and coming off as a person that, they'll have a beer with, right? Yeah, man.